What's up, guys? As you know, I've been playing a VR Battle Royale game on Steam called Standout. It's a very fun game. In fact, one of the best VR games I've tried so far in my short time of owning an Oculus Rift. And it does scratch that itch for some Battle Royale in VR. But some recent news has me thinking. The mobile versions of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds have been released in China. Well, looking at the footage from the game, it seems they really have captured the essence of Battlegrounds and translated it very well to mobile devices. It looks like PUBG, it plays like PUBG, and it performs well on that limited hardware. Now, if they can get such a faithful recreation of the game to work on mobile devices, surely they could do the same in VR, right? As you may already know, VR requires a minimum and steady 90 frames per second to be a comfortable experience, while the mobile games are capped at 30 FPS or lower. This would be a problem for a port if the minimum specs for a VR-capable PC were equal to a modern mobile device, but the specs are much higher. So it might be possible a straight port to PC could reach that 90 FPS minimum that VR needs, with some modifications. Perhaps the art assets could even be made more complex than the mobile version. Or maybe they would need to cut some further corners. Either way, VR players are used to lower graphic detail in their games, as it's unfortunately the only way to do it given our current rendering tech. But graphics aren't everything, and frankly I think the mobile version with some higher resolution textures would look fine in VR, if that's all it could be. Graphics aside, the game Standout proves that Battle Royale can work very well with a VR setup. The movement and motion controls don't just work, they add a tactile feeling to the game that would elevate Battlegrounds to a new level in my opinion. Having your weapons and items be a physical thing really feels great, and it introduces a skill element that you can't quite get with a mouse and keyboard. When you aim, it is actually you aiming, as though you were really there. Vaulting over ledges or through windows works just as well as PUBG, but again has that tangible feeling to it. What about PUBG's inventory management? Well, this wouldn't be a problem in VR, as you can still have a pointer and click and drag things around in a menu. You could maybe have some tool belt slots that you could drag items and weapons onto that would be shown on your chest and waist, like in Standout. These would be easy to grab and use while other items you're carrying would stay in your inventory. Healing could be done in a similar way as PUBG, where it still gives a countdown timer as long as you remain still, but you would have to physically grab the energy drinks or first aid kits to use them. Swapping weapon attachments could stay how it is in PUBG, or you could somehow physically attach the scope or suppressor or what have you to your weapon. Vehicles would be very straightforward as well, since driving is one of the most natural fits for VR. Shooting as a passenger would work well too. As a big fan of both PUBG and VR, this is something I'd love to see. Standout is awesome, but it's made by a small indie team and lacks the polish and gameplay elements that PUBG has. I feel that the Battlegrounds developers could use what was learned from porting it to Xbox and mobile, and really bring a premium Battle Royale experience to PlayStation VR and Steam VR. I think it would do very well financially and be the killer app that could attract new players to the VR platform. Anyway, those are my quick thoughts on it. Would you like to see this happen? Do you think it's even feasible? How would you translate PUBG to VR? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you'd like to see a comparison on the graphics and performance of mobile PUBG, Digital Foundry made a very good video which I will link in the description. As always, I appreciate you watching and I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time, guys.